Ladies and gents, welcome to CG Reaction, and this is How Do You Become a Lord by the channel J Foreman. So yeah, this is about House of Lords. One of the best thing I ever saw. At first time I think I saw it on John Oliver. So like, what the hell is this? This is some kind of a some TV show or something. Oh no, this is part of Parliament. And I'm like, why is that guy the speaker, I think, in the House of Lords? It's way, I don't know, way too much British, let's just say. He talks with so much emphasis on like, order. I'm like, man, is he pretending or that is how he talks? I mean, then people have these golden staves in their hands and wearing robes and things. I'm like, I didn't see this coming. And I'm like, maybe this is just one of those things, you know, they just do this thing as a cultural thing. It doesn't have really power, but no, this is one of the Parliament. They have power, I think. So this is really fascinating. I was fascinated by this for a long time. I haven't seen any much of videos about this, but J Foreman is a great channel. I reacted to some, one of the explaining videos about Britain in the past, and it was great. So this is gonna be awesome too. It's a really funny channel too. So yeah, remember people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out other reaction today. There's a link in the description. Check out the cards for all the playlist. Check out the end cards, I guess. And if you want to react to some video, comment down. Even if I don't reply, I will eventually react to that video. So yeah, let's watch this one.
This episode of Politics Unboring is brought to you by the Great Courses Plus.
The House of Lords, or to give it its proper title, the Right Honourable, the Lord Spiritual and Temporal of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in Parliament assembled.gov.uk is a big room in that building there, and it's full of lords.
Lords also...
Wait a minute, so the building besides Big Ben, that massive building, that's Parliament building, huh? So Big Ben is part of the Parliament, apparently. Because, I thought, first of all, I thought Big Ben is the whole tower, but apparently it's just a bell. But, I think most people think that Big Ben is the whole clock tower. And apparently that's not just some architectural thing of the past that is just now here, like it's see what we used to do or something like the heritage thing. No, it's actually accurate. I searched about it a bit and apparently it's really accurate clock. I'm like, damn.
Also known as peers, have a really important job. They look at the ideas that the MPs come up with for new laws and check the fine details to make sure they're just right. If they're not happy, they send them back and say, do it again.
Being a peer is brilliant.
You get to wear fancy red robes, people have to...
There you go, go back. Look at that, I love this, look at the seats, look at what he's wearing, it's like a knight or something. There are people in suits too, apparently. I think this is like... I think we have, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. It's two part of Parliament, lower house and upper house or something like that. Rajya Sabha is upper house. I think this is like that. Obviously, Lok Sabha has more power, but Rajya Sabha is like this. I mean, they are elected by elected people, so it is kind of like this. But I'm not so sure. I mean, in this, obviously the video has just started. I don't know details about it. But do they have term or something, or they are permanent? Because then it would differ a bit.
Robes, people have to call you Lord something. You get £300 expenses per day. You can fly. You're allowed to sleep during debates, and you get to keep the job for life. What?
So, how do you get to be one?
So no, it's not accurately like that, because in our here Rajya Sabha, basically every 2 or 3 years, 1/3 of the entire house gets retired or something and new people comes in. So it's not accurate like that, but I think it's somewhat like that. But why do they dress like that? Understand that British has rich history and heritage, so they just carry it forward. I mean, buildings themselves tells you that. Man, I love this. Look at the London, every building. It's really old, but they look really awesome like this. Look at that. I think that's Big Ben, right? This is so awesome. I've never been to London, but I think I should visit 1 or 2 times, man. This is so awesome.
1. Be born a hereditary peer. If your dad is a hereditary peer, you get to take his place when he dies. This used to be only for men, but it was changed to include women in 1963, as long as they don't have any brothers. 2. Be an Anglican...
I love that. 1963 was quite damn recent.
Bishop.
If you're a bishop in the Church of England, you automatically get a seat in the House of Lords, because if you know how to run a church, you know how to run the country.
3. Be chosen by...
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I mean, apparently, look, first of all, when it comes to Christianity, I never knew there are so many versions of it. I think that I kind of knew that, some people trying to be different, but I didn't know as a big like people really follow at that major scale. I always thought the majority of people just follow one like Catholic religion. I always thought that Pope is their head of the church apparently, and apparently 95% of the every Christian is apparently Catholic. That's what I thought. Like there are some people who are trying to be a bit different, but I think they are just minority group. That's what I thought, but apparently not. There are major Christian groups like Catholics, there are Protestants apparently in the USA. I don't know, Church of England, is that different too? So yeah, but then I think I kind of heard somewhere about the history where Catholic obviously Pope had the power to make people kings or something during the certain periods. At the time Britain had some issues with the Pope, so they created Church of England or something that was completely different from Catholics. So I guess that's why this Church of England and their bishops are kind of part of the how to run a country or something like that, so they become automatically lord or something. Yeah, I really need to to react to a lot of Christians and their different Christianities like Catholics and Protestants things. I really need to see details about it because I'm really confused on that front. Obviously about that Church of England thing too. How it came to be? Is it because there was political issues with the Pope or what? I really need to react to history there.
The Prime Minister. Prime Ministers can stuff the House with as many lords as they like during their time in office. If you want to be picked, though not essential, it helps if you've donated money to
Look at the diversity there. Tony Blair gave 370. Wait a minute, Tony Blair is that guy, right? Yeah, with the George Bush, they're like, if you're gonna invade Iraq, that Dave Chappelle's skit has that too. Yeah, I think that's 374. Gordon Brown just 34. I guess he was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
It helps if you
David Cameron went back in 244. Look at that. That's why people hated him apparently. 30s. Okay, so this is around that time the video was, but still it was a year 17, just 17, and I think she gave up her prime minister seat, and now Boris Johnson is prime minister. How many has he put in House of Lords now?
You've donated money to their party.
Now, if to you any of this seems surprising or archaic or batshit, then there's good news. There have been some changes over the past few years to drag the House of Lords kicking and screaming into the 19th century.
1. The number of hereditary peers is now limited to 92.
By the way, that doesn't mean there are 92 remaining that we're waiting for to die. When one family dies out, the other lords have a vote to replace them from a pool of about 800 aristocrats. So there will always be 92 of them.
Wait a minute, other lords, not somebody else. Lords themselves decide who's going to become lord. That makes it a bit more exclusive, doesn't it?
2. Leaders of other religions get to be lords.
The 26 Church of England bishops have now been joined by leaders of other faiths. 1 Methodist, 1 Scottish Presbyterian, 1 Church of Ireland and 2 rabbis.
3.
What? How many Christian religions are there, man? Damn.
The Prime Minister has been asked nicely not to give so many peerages.
Well,
4.
so just ask nicely, so there is no enforcement there. He's just asked nice, so he can just ignore that too.
In 2001, they introduced a new way of getting lords into the House. The Appointments Commission. The Appointments Commission's job is to pick people from the real world outside the usual batch of ex-cabinet ministers.
These
This is
people's
epic.
peers are chosen for their skills and experience, such as if they're experts in law, or science, or the arts, or beer.
Thus assuring that the House of Lords is truly representative of the British people it serves, with the exception of the 92 hereditary peers, 26 godbrothers and 620 life peers chosen by the Prime Minister, who ultimately have the final say on the laws that govern our country despite not being elected, which arguably is a positive thing because it means they're less caught up in party politics and can concentrate on getting the job done, but it also makes them completely unaccountable, and the paltry reforms in 1999 served only to legitimise how inherently undemocratic the entire institution is and delay any meaningful reform for the foreseeable future, whilst we continue to labour under the assumption that we live in a democracy and still have a monarch.
You know what? I can't be bothered to talk about this anymore.
That is true, isn't it? I mean, yeah, that's they're not elected in a way, so they are less they can be less corrupt, I guess. But in the end, they could have less they might not give an F about things either. So I don't know which one is better. And yeah, after all this, there's a monarch. I don't know, man. But look, man, here's what I'm thinking. Every democratic system in the world, and I am saying every, is flawed. All right, none of them is perfect. I mean, I'm not taking positions or anything, but recently, I think just today, in USA they said that Donald Trump is not impeached even after the clear things that he did is grounds for impeachment. I mean, if what the hell is that guy's name? Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. If Bill Clinton can get a blowjob and get impeached, I think what Trump did is beyond impeachment already. But they're still like, there is no impeachment. So democracy is already a bit flawed everywhere. There is no place where it's not flawed. So, if it's working, what you gonna do? But House of Lords, I think, having the seat for life, I think that's a bit, if there are terms, like they can only stay a few years, I mean, then I think it might work. I don't know. So I guess that was House of Lords. I love this. I love this channel, man. I'm going to react to more from this guy. This is awesome. Oh, wait a minute. The video still... What? He said the end, but there's still more video.
Or the end.
Son, I'm dying. Yes, Father, you are. I'm going to die, son. I know, Father. It's a thundering nuisance.
Nuisance.
Closer. Closer.
Starting a car or something.
Really important I want to say to you. What is it, Father? The Great Courses Plus is an online video learning service with lectures.
That is internet historian level. I love this. Oh yeah, people, go to Grace Courses Plus and support this channel. This is awesome channel. I love the comedic approach that this guy uses. Yeah, so that was House of Lords. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out other reactions I did. There's a link in the description. Check out for the cast for the playlist. Check out the end cards, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you next time.